Hey everyone, it's Maria, your Canadian English teacher, and I'm here today with my Canadian English teacher friend, Audra.
Hey everyone.
Audra is one of our Canadian English teachers on Team English for Canada. And in today's video, we're going to talk about some differences in terms of culture and lifestyle between Vancouverites, people from Vancouver, and Torontonians, would you say?
Yep.
People from Toronto, which is where Audra's from. So if you want to come live in Canada or you're already here, check out this video. So as most of you probably know, I was born and raised in Vancouver, British Columbia, but Audra here was not. She lives here, but she was actually born in Ontario. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So Toronto specifically is where I'm from, and I have to say the vibes in Vancouver and Toronto are very, very different. When it comes to the people in Toronto seem to always be in a rush. No matter what time of day, what day of the week it is, they're always hurrying to get somewhere. And I think that kind of reflects the overall culture of the city, which is just a faster paced place. Another thing that's really different between Vancouver and Toronto is how people spend their free time. In Toronto, going out to cafes, going out to bars, that's kind of what people do, no matter what day of the week it is and who you are. Here in Vancouver, people take advantage, I would say, of the outdoors a lot more. So if people have a day off, they're heading to the mountains, they're heading out onto the water, and they're getting as far from the city as they can.
That's true. I mean, I was born and raised here, and I'm really used to living on the coast, meaning near the water, and also by the mountains. And even though I don't know how to ski or snowboard, I guess that's not very Canadian of me, I still like seeing the mountains there and having the snow. I mean, if you guys look behind us, it's kind of a cloudy day right now, so you can't really see the mountains, but we're near the water. So it's just kind of like a refreshing feeling. When I have visited Toronto, I've been there quite a few times. I love the city in terms of its vibe. It's super busy. There's like a lot of hustle and bustle. I thought people were super friendly. Maybe they're a little bit more open to having conversations with strangers. Because in Vancouver, people are a little bit more standoffish. That's a good word for you to learn, standoffish. They're a little bit more perhaps discreet or closed off to having conversations with somebody new. Whereas in Toronto, at least in my experience, I noticed people were coming up to me to just have a conversation on the train, which in Vancouver usually wouldn't really happen.
With that being said, I have noticed that if you need help here, people are very, very willing to help. So if you don't know where to go and you need some directions, they will be willing to lend you a hand and point out a few different options for you. In Toronto, people are really nice, but they have very short fuses, meaning that they get angry easily if something annoys them. So they'll be having a great day, and it could be something in the coffee shop, on the subway. Then they'll be angry for the whole day, and I don't understand why.
Oh, that's interesting. Short fuse. That's a good one, guys. Learn that one. Short fuse. And here's some cool vocabulary that you're going to want to jot down. Phrasal verb. Woohoo! So Vancouverites are known to be very cliquey. Cliquey. Now, what does cliquey mean? Cliquey is when people like to spend time with the same group of people all the time. And Vancouverites are very known for not really wanting to branch out. Another phrasal verb, branch out, meaning they want to spread out or make friends with other people. They tend to stick to the same cohort, the same 2 or 3 people that they know, and they don't really make the effort to spend time or converse or have a good time with other people unless you really make an effort. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. You can definitely make friends with Vancouverites, but it might not be as easy than perhaps somebody from Ontario who's a little bit more open to and receptive to making new friends. So Vancouverites tend to be cliquey.
I'd say people from Toronto, Torontonians, are a little bit more high-strung than people from Vancouver. And I think this is because they live in a really fast-paced city. And so it's kind of easy to get caught up in all of that energy. So high-strung means that they're easily stressed out, they're often stressed out, and they're very concerned all the time about things being done properly and things being done in a very efficient manner. So don't be late.
Now, let's talk about some of the good qualities of Vancouverites. In general, people from Vancouver are very health conscious. They're very healthy people, and they're very concerned about taking care of their well-being, whether that's their physical well-being or their mental well-being. So in the city, you're always going to see people working out, going for a run, for a stroll, kayaking, skiing, hiking. In general, people from Vancouver love getting outdoors and getting in a good workout. And I think that's really, really cool. Also, Vancouverites tend to love yoga. It's a bit of a stereotype, but you'll see a yoga studio absolutely everywhere, and a lot of health-minded or healthy restaurants. So you can find a vegan or a vegetarian restaurant basically everywhere. Every restaurant you go to will have some sort of healthier option on the menu, so you don't have to worry about sticking to your diet when you go out to eat with your friends.
And the coolest thing about Vancouver is that all of those activities you just mentioned, skiing and kayaking, hiking, and going and taking a yoga class, can be done in the same day.
Another cool thing about Vancouver, which is a little bit different than Toronto, is that in Vancouver, people really appreciate work-life balance. So when it's 5 o'clock or whenever their shift has ended at work, they check out and they leave the office so that they can enjoy the rest of their day with their loved ones. So you'll see people out and about with their family and friends going for a run, walk, or having a picnic outdoors, especially since Vancouver has a lot of green space. That's probably one of my favorite parts about living here, is that we have some of the freshest air. It's so clean here, and we've got lots of green space.
I think the biggest selling feature of Toronto as a place to visit or live is the multiculturalism.
Yes.
I know you do get it in Vancouver and many other cities across the world, but in Toronto, it seems that the different communities blend together a lot better than you see in other places.
Yeah, that's true.
So instead of having different groups kind of existing in the same place, they are one group of a lot of different people. And I think that's what really sets it apart from a place even like Vancouver.
That's true, because even though we have a lot of different communities from different ethnicities in Vancouver, people... You know what? Let's just leave that in. Proof that we are in nature in Vancouver. When I went to Toronto, I was really actually pleasantly surprised to see how people were all mixed together. In Vancouver, even though we do have a great mix of cultures, which I love, people still tend to stick to their communities quite a lot. And even people live in different neighborhoods that tend to have people from the same ethnicity. Whereas in Toronto, it seems to be a bit more of a blend.
Yeah, one friend group will have people from 5-6 different countries.
That's cool.
All, arriving in Canada at different times, and they'll all get along just great. So another great thing about Toronto is that no matter who you are, what you're into, if you want a night out on the town, there is a neighborhood for you, right? If you're someone who likes a beer or two with some friends in a quaint little cafe, you can do that. There's actually a Harry Potter bar.
A Harry Potter bar?
A Harry Potter bar. So, and this is just an example of the types of bars that you have access to, right? So if you just want to have a beer in a goblet like you're in Harry Potter, you can do that in Toronto. But if you're not so much into fantasy novels and movies, well, you can still go out to the clubs downtown for some drinking and some dancing.
Yeah.
Old school discos kind of thing.
So last question, if you guys don't follow us already, we do have a video on how to pronounce Vancouver. So check out our channel to watch out how to properly pronounce the word Vancouver. Now, Audra, how do you pronounce Toronto? Is it Toronto? Is it Toronto? How do you actually say it?
Well, it's best if I tell this with a story. So the last time I went to visit my family, I mentioned Toronto, and my brother made fun of me. And at first I questioned why he did, and then he said, say it like a true Torontonian. It's Toronto. So really, it's C-H-U-R-R.
C-H.
Like ch.
Toronto.
No T at the end. C-H-U-R-R-O-N-O. Toronto.
Toronto. Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto. So that's how you say it. Toronto?
Yep.
And Vancouver. So we love living in Canada. We hope that we've given you a realistic taste of what it's like to live in both cities. And of course, if you don't live in Vancouver, Toronto, we also want to hear what it's like in your city. I haven't had the opportunity to go to cool cities like Winnipeg or Regina or the East Coast. I would love to explore more of Canada. So leave a comment below and let us know what your city's like and see if you can use some of that fun vocabulary we taught you in this video, all right? And if you are in Vancouver or Toronto, let us know in the comments below if you agree with us. Maybe you don't. We want to hear your experiences, all right? And don't forget to share this video with your friends who might be Vancouverites or Torontonians. All right, see you in the next video.
Bye.
See you in Canada.